you could take a couple of seconds to talk about what it was like in the early years for you as an autism parent.
Sure. Well, I was an uninformed and unaware autism parent in my early years, like many of us. I thought Tom was doing great, but then some things started happening, like when he was 2, he stopped talking for almost 6 months. And I took a list of words to the doctor, and I said, he used to say all these things. Why is he only saying 6 words? And the doctor said, oh, don't worry, he'll talk again.
Boys are late talkers.
Boy, you know.
Yes, we've all heard some version of it, right?
Exactly. So when he did start talking, he could also spell and read. And I came down to the kitchen, and the magnetic letters on the fridge said agua, one way, don't walk, and Cerrado. And I said to my husband, did you do that for Tom? And he said, no, I thought you did. And Tom had done it.
He was hyperlexic.
He was hyperlexic.
Most of our
Cerrado,
audience knows
though?
what.
Cerrado. Those were 4 of the 22 sight words from Sesame Street.
Cerrado.
Cerrado, it means closed in Spanish.
Okay.
But he
all right.
remembered it. He could
Yeah.
manipulate the letters.
My son, we were driving past a truck, and he was a year and a half, and he goes, Toys R Us, better toys for you. And I'm thinking, okay, he is a genius. Well, he was hyperlexic is what it was.
Well, we thought he was a genius too, because that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But I had a friend, and she was kind of mean and kind of right, and she said, well, if he's so smart, how come he doesn't know how to play with the other kids?
Oh.
It was
Wow.
it was very heartbreaking for me,
Heartbreaking.
because I didn't know why he didn't know how to play with the other kids. And
course.
it was just kind of mean, but she was right. Why? So my sister, who was an autism expert, she's like, do you notice he doesn't know how to play with the other kids? I'm like, what is this play thing all about? Why is everyone so worried about this? So he went for a screening when he was 5, but they said he didn't have autism because he was too smart. And that was in 1989. That was their words, not mine. He's too smart to have autism.
Wow.
Yeah, Temple Grandin, tell her that.
Yeah.
Right.
But about 8 years later, you could have normal or gifted intelligence and have autism, and that's when Tom was diagnosed when he was 13.
Wow.
So that chunk between worrying and wondering to getting that diagnosis was really rocky.
That
Can you
had
imagine?
to. You said that around 4th grade the bullying started, and Tom, we want to just from your perspective too, and your mom's, before you got your diagnosis, just starting junior high, those must have been really tough years for you.
Some of them were, and a lot of it I remember vividly. Some parts I don't remember at all.
I'm sure you blocked them out.
And,
I hope.
And that's something she and I have been exploring the last couple of days, is me thinking of instances where something happened. And it's funny, we were mentioning how smart I am. I can remember tests I took as a young man. I remember certain puzzles that I did. But for the life of me, I cannot recall certain social interactions or instances where I had meltdowns, so to speak.
And that's for the best, right?
I think so, too.
It's for the best if we don't remember them either. I'm sure some of them are emblazoned upon your brain so that you can't get rid of them, but...
And they may come out later. You know, I think there is something to this post-traumatic stress disorder symptom that we do block painful memories. I mean, I know I blocked a lot of the painful memories when Wyatt was, at his worst, I guess, after, at around 3, when he was having 9, 10 tantrums a day, self-injurious, hurting me. I mean, it's hard to think of those times, and you do block them, but it enormously challenging for you. And Emily, I know that for you it had to be very painful as a parent.
Well, I think we both cried every day for years before we got the help he needed. And the only reason I remember the sad times is because they kind of crystallized my resolve. I am never going to let that happen to him again. That type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something to help the other kids understand autism.
And what a compassionate person you are to have that. Because so many moms, like there's one over here sitting next to me, would have gone, I'm going to go beat their asses up.
Who, me? Who, me?
But basically, I figured out that if we're going to make the world safe for people with autism, then we have to change the world.